Welcome everyone to Arbiters-Stream-Episode-18. Our today's episode is Arbiter in the Spotlight with international arbiter Geert Bailleul from Belgium, chairman of the Arbiters Council, yes? Of the European Chess Union.
Yes.
Welcome. How are you doing today?
I am doing very, very good today. No problem whatsoever. I had a almost perfect day.
Thank you, Mr. Geert. We would like to introduce yourself for a few minutes, as you wish.
For a few minutes, okay. It's not so easy to introduce myself in only a few minutes, but anyway, I can try.
Take your time, okay.
My name is Geert Bailleul. I am 65 years old, becoming 66 next month, 15th of November. I am retired since the 1st of May 2018, and I have worked for 40 years as a specialized intensive care nurse in a big hospital in my country, in Bruges, the city where I was born. Currently, I am international arbiter in my free time, and I have a lot of free time as being retired, of course. Wherever and whenever they ask me to go as an arbiter, I am always available because I have also, let's say, in that way, an advantage that, believe it or not, but I am single. I am not married. I have no girlfriend. So if people ask me to go to wherever on the planet to be an arbiter, I don't have to ask permission to anyone. Just look in the mirror and ask permission to myself, and I always give permission to myself. So that's in, let's say, a few words about my current life. I live in Belgium, of course. I was born in Bruges, the most beautiful city in the world, and I know that Marco Biagioli will not agree with that, because Marco is convinced that Venice is the most beautiful city in the world, but that is not true. Venice can at the highest be the second most beautiful city in the world. Anyway, I live in Belgium, near the Belgian coast, in a small village, and I have the time of my life.
How were you introduced to chess?
How was I introduced to chess? Okay, that's a long story. I was introduced by my stepfather. Let's say, I think it was in the 80s, in the previous century. I was, I think, 34 or 35, so much too old to become an international grandmaster. But after playing one game of chess, I was addicted, immediately addicted to the game of chess. My stepfather gave me some books to study, some opening books, books written by the Dutch world champion Max Euwe. I studied and I studied, and I became, let's say, a not so bad chess player. But like I said, I was at that time already too old. At the age of 34, if you start to play chess at that age, it's quite impossible to become international master or international grandmaster, maybe Fide master, but I'm not sure. It was never my intention to become, let's say, title player.
So you started right from the beginning to be an arbiter, or this came later?
No. like I said, when I started to play chess, I was addicted, and I was not so bad as chess player. So they told me I should go to a chess club in Bruges, which I did. And it was like, I think, 1990. And after a few years, 2 or 3 years, I think it was 2 years, in 1992, they wanted to, in this club, they wanted someone to organize the tournaments of the club. And they asked me to do so and to become member of the board, which I did. But the one condition I asked them to do is that if I wanted to organize tournaments, it was necessary that I knew all the laws of chess and rules of tournaments and so on. And it was at that time that I attended to a course to become national arbiter, which was not very easy course, because if I remember well, 12 or 13 people attended to the course, and I was the only one who passed the exam. So that's how I became a national arbiter, national arbiter C in Belgium, which is the lowest category. And then after having been arbiter in several tournaments in Belgium, you can become national arbiter B and then national arbiter A, which is the highest. That's when I started, like, if I remember well, it was in 1992, if I remember well. Can be 93, but I think it was 92.
So being a national arbiter in Belgium is not easy. You need to pass a test and then become a national arbiter, yes?
Yes, it is not obvious to become national arbiter. You have to, like I said, attend to a course, which is at that time, and it is now, I think it still is, 30 hours a course, and then do an exam, which is not easy, and then to become a higher level arbiter, like I said, from C to B and from B to A. You need to have norms in several tournaments in Belgium, and for sure, especially to become national arbiter A, you need good evaluations and some kind of test before you become national arbiter A. It's not so easy. Many people try to become arbiter. Many people try to go to a higher level, but not all of them succeed.
This way you keep the arbiter level high standard, yes?
Well, that's like since 2009, I am the chairman of the Arbiters Commission, International Arbiters Commission in Belgium, and we try to have a high standard in arbiters, so that if for instance I propose an arbiter for a tournament in the Netherlands, a national arbiter A, I am sure that he will do a good job, because I know them all, and I know the way they have done to become national arbiter A, and I know that you don't get any presents to become national arbiter A. It's a high level of arbiters, and they are also very motivated to become national arbiter A.
Can they like get the Fide arbiter title before becoming national arbiter A or no?
Sorry?
To become a Fide arbiter, do they have to pass a national arbiter A level, or?
Yes, yes. They cannot apply to become Fide arbiter if they are national arbiter C or B. First, they have to be national arbiter A. They have to be national arbiter A to get Fide norms, and they have to be national arbiter A to attend to a Fide arbiter seminar. They cannot do it as national arbiter C or B.
Okay.
It is necessary that they have to be A. That's written in regulations in Belgium Chess Federation.
That's the same in Greece, Mr. Geert. That's the same regulation.
So you then became a Fide arbiter, yes? And then went all the way up.
Then I became Fide arbiter purely by coincidence, because, like I said at the beginning, it was not. When I became an arbiter, the only thing I wanted to do is organize tournaments in the local club, where I became a board member. It was not my goal whatsoever to become Fide arbiter and international arbiter, because I think at that time I didn't know that Fide arbiters and international arbiters existed. It was purely by coincidence that I became Fide arbiter, because at that time in Belgium Chess Federation, Dirk de Ridder, who was at that time secretary of the Fide Arbiters Commission, he told me that out of all the norms I had, out of all the tournaments which I organized and where I was arbiter, in Belgium championships and in foreign championships, especially in the Netherlands, he told me that I had like double the number of norms which were needed to become Fide arbiter, and I didn't know. So I applied with, I think I had 9 or 10 norms needed to become Fide arbiter. So I applied to become Fide arbiter, and of course it was accepted because I had too many norms. At that time I needed 4 norms, and I think I had 9 or 10 norms. So I didn't know that I could become Fide arbiter. It was Dirk de Ridder who like pushed me to do it, and that was let's say the start of a small international career as an arbiter in tournaments, mostly in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Are there many international arbiters in Belgium?
No. At the moment, I think 9. 9 international arbiter and only one Fide arbiter. And out of these 9 international arbiters, only 5 of them are active. The Fide arbiter is also active, but not in international tournaments. 2 of the international arbiters are active on international level. A part of myself, also Le Cornet, who is international arbiter category B, does international tournaments, but we are only the 2 of us. All other international arbiters are international arbiter category D and Fide arbiter category D. So 9 international arbiters and 1 Fide arbiter. Small group, but very, very good group.
Yeah, that's important.
Mm.
So now you said, yeah.
Is there any question?
No, there's no.
Mark?
Yeah, if you have any questions, please write in the chat so I can see.
Yes. That's right.
Let's go to the next bit. We know that you're also the president of the Belgium Chess Federation, yes?
Yes.
Could you tell us some things about your goals and your
well,
experience there? Yes, of course, Mr. Geert.
well, I became member of the board of the Belgium Chess Federation in 2009. When I became the chairman of the Commission of International Arbiters in Belgium Chess Federation. Automatically, the chairman of the Commission of International Arbiters in Belgium Chess Federation automatically becomes a member of the board of Belgium Chess Federation, but he has no voting power. He can also only give advice. So in 2009 I became member, and in 2014 I was elected for the first time as a board member, and I was quite active as a board member, responsible for let's say everything that has to do with arbiters and organizing tournaments. And last year, in 2021, in February last year, I was elected as president of Belgium Chess Federation with 94% of the votes.
Landslide victory.
That's almost, let's say, almost 100%, which means that the members of the Belgium Chess Federation, they have great confidence in me as president. You have to earn 94% of the votes in the voting to become president. But on the other hand, it also means that they have great expectations of me as the president of the Belgium Chess Federation. Until now, I get only positive remarks. I am quite active, doing as much as possible as president, go to tournaments to make sure that the board of the Belgium Chess Federation is presented during this tournament, because people appreciate that you go to tournaments and that you, let's say, show your face to them, and it's really appreciated. And I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I became president, but the last 2 years since I became president, we had some kind of, I think, 600 or 700 members more than before I was president. So I'm not telling the world that it is all because of me, but it has also to do, I think, with the very good and popular Netflix series, The Queen's Gambit. So until now, I am satisfied as president. I have a good team of 8 board members who are doing a good job. We are not fighting. Sometimes we have little fights, but after the meetings, we go to a pub and have a drink, and we forget the fights.
It's going to be hard trying to keep everybody after the Netflix boom. That is a hard one.
Well, I don't know. Oops. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear your mic is just left Zoom.
he disappeared.
He disappeared.
Well, it's I don't know if it's going to be hard because the future will tell us if it's going to be hard or not. But I have very big confidence in the board, in my board members, in the way they are doing a very good job. So we are very active, organizing lots of things, making. We have solved problems which occurred in the previous years, like financial problems, and that's a great achievement to know that the financial situation of the Belgian Chess Federation now is very good. So that's very important.
Yes, yeah, the financial is, if you have financial backing, it solves a lot of the common issues. So yeah, good luck with your continuing with your presidency.
Well, Belgium Chess Federation is a small federation.
You have some grandmasters, though, yes?
Yes, we have, I think, 11 or 12. At the moment, we have a very, very, very talented grandmaster. He became international grandmaster at the age of 15.
Oh, that's good.
At the age of 12 in Crete in 2017, he became world champion in Rapid and Blitz. He was 12 years old then. He's a very, very talented young guy. He's 16 at the moment. He became, like I said, he became international grandmaster at the age of 15. And it is amazing because if you know that I think Kasparov was 16 when he became grandmaster. And also Carlsen was 16 when he became grandmaster. So this young guy became grandmaster 1 year earlier than Kasparov and Carlsen. So that's very, very good for the future. And we have, I think, 10 or 11 international grandmasters in the federation. But we are very active, and because it's amazing that we are a very small federation, but despite that, there are 2 members of the board of Belgian Chess Federation who have a position in a commission in ECU. I am the chairman of the ECU Arbiters Council, and another board member, Filip Vukojevic, is a member of the Education Commission, and the former president, the person who was president before me, is deputy auditor in ECU. So, despite the fact that Belgium is a small federation, we are we are quite active in ECU also.
That's very important as well. It is very important.
We have very, very good contact with the Secretary General and with the President of ECU. Very, very good. I can call both of them. I can call them my friend. So it's very good to have this good contact with these 2 persons.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have any experiences of recent tournaments? Because I've seen you have been very active in the last few months.
Indeed.
I think you were also in Batumi recently, yes or no?
I was very active in the last few months. I was in Thessaloniki at the end of July for the General Assembly of ECU as president of Belgium Chess Federation, and also as secretary of the Arbiters Council. At that time, I was secretary of the Arbiters Council, to present the report of the Arbiters Council, because the chairman of the Arbiters Council was not present there. Then after Thessaloniki, I was at home for 1 day, and I left to Chennai for the Olympiad, where I was a match arbiter during the Olympiad.
Yeah, you were a match arbiter of Cyprus twice.
Yeah.
Cyprus Open team, yes.
I hope that because you remember very well that I was twice arbiter for Cyprus. I hope you remember very well because of the fact that I did a good job.
Yes, you did a very good job. There were
Anyway,
no complaints.
Yes.
I got home from Chennai the August 10th, and I started on the day after, August 11th. I was chief arbiter in the Belgium Chess Federation in Belgium Championships until August 19th, and then I left immediately to Prague, where I was active during the European Women Chess Championship. I was appointed as chairman of the Appeals Commission there, and also as the responsible for anti-cheating. Then in September last month, I was chief arbiter during the FISU World University Mind Games, the part of the chess in this tournament. The day after tomorrow, I'm leaving for Guernsey for a tournament for 10 days. Guernsey is a small island between France and England. I will be chief arbiter there for this chess during this chess festival, leaving the day after tomorrow. And then in November, I will be deputy chief arbiter during the European Youth Chess Championships in Antalya. So very busy. And then in December, I have a small youth championship in Belgium, where I will be the chief arbiter. And I forgot to mention that in April this year, I was chief arbiter during the Belgium Youth Championship. So let's say I had 7 or 8 tournaments, I don't remember very well.
Very busy schedule.
Yes.
But you will never hear me complain about this.
Because you enjoy it, that's why.
Yes, that's right.
It's chess is my passion. Being an arbiter is my passion. I like to do it very much. Let's say I'm very grateful to the people who gave me the chance to do so. My international career in arbitering got some kind of enormous boost in 2016 when I was appointed. I was appointed as one of the arbiters in ECU to go to Baku to the Olympiad as match arbiter. Zurab Ajmai Parashvili, the president of ECU, gave me the possibility to do so, and then at that time, since that time, my career as an international arbiter got a boost, and since then I think I didn't count all the tournaments, but I did quite a lot of tournaments at that time, since in, let's say, the past 6 years.
Do you prefer youth tournaments or other tournaments?
youth tournaments. Youth tournaments are different compared to other tournaments. In the first place, because of the great number of participants, mostly. I was deputy chief arbiter in Bratislava in, I think it was 2019, and there were about 750 or more participants. So it's quite a challenge to get things organized, good organized, but we had a good team. I prefer, and maybe people will not be surprised if I tell this, but I prefer the women tournaments. I have been active in the last 4 European Women Championships as a deputy chief arbiter in Slovakia, as a chief arbiter in 2019 in Antalya, as chairman of the Appeals Commission last year in Iași in Romania, and this year in Prague. And I really like to be appointed as a principal in the principal position in this kind of tournaments, because it is much more quiet, relaxed, no tense, no testosterone in the playing venue.
Much more quiet.
Yes, and calm, not this. Well, there is this fighting spirit, but it's much more
on the border.
Easy, quiet, calm, friendly. And if I like to do like say open championships too in men competition, but if you enter the playing venue in men competition, you immediately feel the testosterone in the air. Everyone wants to compete and to battle and to fight and to when you don't have to. Of course, women, they also will fight at the board, but it's, like I said, easier, calm. It's more, let's say, more relaxing, I think. So give me every year 5 women tournaments, and I will be a very happy man.
I'm going to give you now a hard question. What was one of your most difficult decisions as an arbiter during a game? Where you had to take a decision.
As an arbiter?
Yes.
Oh.
Or a recent one which you think was of note?
Well, the most difficult one was in the Belgium Championships, the Interclub Belgium Championship recently, let's say last month, when there was this discussion between 2 players, 2 very, very good friends of mine, and I had to disappoint one of them to tell him that his claim was not good, was not right, and that he lost the game. He wrote his moves on the score sheet, and which was also done by his opponent, but his opponent forgot to write the move on the score sheet on move 20. So he wrote move 20 on the place of move 21. So at the end he had at his score sheet 40 moves, but it was not right because there was no move written on 20. And his opponent, he was right, and he was at 39, and he was thinking, have I 40 movers or not? So he was looking at the score sheets, the wrong score sheet of the opponent, seeing that he had 40 moves on his score sheet, which was not good. So after the first period, his flag fell, and there was this discussion: do I have 39 or 40 moves? So to make a long story short, he was too much concentrated on the wrong score sheet of his opponent, and then I saw that he was very, 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 very disappointed, angry on his opponent, angry on himself that he did a stupid thing to count on the opponent's score sheets, angry on me because I made the decision that he lost because he did have his 40 moves. And he was a very good friend of mine, and I saw the anger and especially the disappointment in his eyes. And at that time, it's tough to make this decision, but you have to be professional and make the good decision. If you make this decision, you have to forget that one of the players is a good friend and a teammate. So anyway, 5 minutes later, everything was forgotten, and after the game we went to a bar and we had a drink. No, we didn't have a drink. We had 2 drinks, or even 3. I don't remember. But it's let's say it's not so easy. You have to make the switch in your head and be professional. If you make decisions with friends, concerning with friends, if 1 or 2 players are very good friends, or even teammates of your own club, that's a very a challenge to be professional as arbiter.
Yeah.
And for sure you know what I mean.
Mr. Geert, are you also a national lecturer for arbiters in Belgium or not?
In Belgium I am, yes. I give courses for Belgium, for players who want to become national arbiters in Belgium. I am not Fide lecturer yet. I still need norms to become Fide lecturer, but one day I will be Fide lecturer. It is one of my goals. It is on my bucket list to become Fide lecturer. But it was my plan since I started to be active on international level. It was my plan to do this step by step. First of all, I wanted to become international arbiter category A, which I am now. Secondly, I wanted to become international organizer, which I will be before the end of the year. And then I would like to become a Fide lecturer in the upcoming years. So yes, I would like to share my experience with other arbiters, for sure, of course.
Do you still play chess, like in tournaments, or you've given that up completely?
The only tournament I participate in to play chess is here in the local club. Let's say 97 or maybe 98% of the time I spend in chess is as an arbiter.
So you don't miss playing?
Yes and no. It's a difficult choice. The advantage that I have as an international arbiter is that I go to places where I think I would never go if I would not be an arbiter. I was in Minsk, I was in Antalya, I was in Baku, I was in Georgia and Batumi. I think that I would not have visited these cities if I wouldn't be an international arbiter. I have bigger opportunities to visit European cities and cities all over the world. As an arbiter, I would not have got this opportunity as a chess player because I am a lousy chess player, not good enough to represent the Belgian Chess Federation in international tournaments. So I think as a chess player, I would never have been in Chennai. So I like to play,
But without the stress.
but I also like to be an arbiter. And if
to choose.
if I have to make a choice, I prefer to be an arbiter.
Is it more stressful to be an arbiter at an event or as a player? What do you?
Well, for me, being an arbiter is not that stressful anymore because I have quite a lot of experience, and also it helps when players know you and when players know your quality as an arbiter. When I play, and especially when I play in team competitions, the stress is higher, not only because you have to play for yourself and you want to win, but you also have to play for your team and make play a good game of chess and a strong game of chess because of the team. And but it's a kind of stress that I like. It makes me forget the rest of the world. When I play a game of chess, I think if Putin would drop a bomb next to my table, I wouldn't have realized it. I wouldn't have noticed it. So I'm very focused when I play a game of chess. By the way, it's not an invitation for Putin to drop bomb next to the table.
Mr. Geert, do you think that
take it as an invitation?
yes, Mr. Geert, do you think that a good arbiter should know about how to play chess, to be a chess player also? I don't mean a titled chess player, but to have the experience and the experience with a stressful situation on the board, I think, in order to take the right decision.
Yes.
When we have an arbiter's topic in a tournament. What do you think about that?
Yes, it is for me. It is obvious that to be a good arbiter, you need to be a chess player. At least at the beginning of your career. If you have, let's say, very much experience in much tournaments as an arbiter, it is not that important anymore to have the experience as a chess player. But for sure, at least at the beginning of your career, because it is necessary. It is important that you try to imagine what's going on in the head
Yes.
of the player when you make a decision.
In order to ignore the psychology of a chess player.
Yes.
In order to take a decision. Yes, that's right,
Yes.
Mr. Geert.
Let's say if you intervene in a game, you have to be sure, you have to make sure that you intervene at the right time, at the right moment, in the right way, in the proper way, and to have this experience as a chess player, how it feels for a chess player if an arbiter intervenes, because it's especially these title players. It is, in my opinion, not necessary that you know every kind of end game with how to finish in a good way. Let's say a position king and rook against king and rook and bishop. Let's say, but you have to be able to go like in the mind, in the head of the chess player.
So would parents be good arbiters? Would parents of young chess players be good arbiters?
Parents?
Yes.
Because they're going to go free on for the tournaments in order to go together with their children. Yes.
Let's say theoretically they should be, but like I said in my example of my decision I had to make between two friends of mine in a game, and to disappoint one of them, I think it is even more difficult to make a decision as an arbiter if you have to make the decision when your daughter or your son or your child is concerned. So,
no, of course, you will not be the arbiter of your children, but be an arbiter on other, like if
yes,
your child is under 10, you are arbiter at under 12.
Yes, of course, but in fact, theoretically, it should be possible that you have to be objective as an arbiter. So even if your child is concerned, but of course it's obvious, and it's better that you are not appointed as an arbiter in the same group of age of your child. But I don't know if it is an advantage to have a child participating in this tournament when you are appointed as an arbiter. I don't know. I don't have this experience because I have one daughter, and I haven't been able to convince her to play chess. I'm not sure that it is an advantage to have a child playing chess and being an arbiter in this youth tournament.
We have arbiter shortage, and I was wondering if you could use parents to be arbiters.
Yes, you can. I'm sure that you can use them as you can appoint them as an arbiter, but I don't know if they would be a better arbiter because they have children playing chess. I don't know that. I don't know if they would be better arbiters in a youth tournament because they have children participating in this tournament. I don't know, but of course they can be appointed as an arbiters, of course, no problem, but not in the same age group as one of their children.
It's sometimes unavoidable, though.
Sometimes it's unavoidable, yes. Oh. I think
They're still here.
I'm still with you because
Yeah.
I lost my screen. You can hear me? You can still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear
Yes,
you.
yes.
Okay, because
Okay.
I cannot see you anymore, but okay. It's important. And do you see me?
Yes,
Of
we
course.
can see you. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. I lost you and I have no visual contact anymore, but if we can hear each other, that's the most important. I forgot the question.
No, I said it was sometimes unavoidable that.
Okay, yes,
Yes.
of course. But then you have to be 100% sure that the parent of the child, of the children, or the children, who is appointed as arbiter during a youth tournament, even in the age group of one of his children, he has to be 100% objective, 200% objective. Let's say it is possible, but if you can avoid it,
It should be avoided, yes.
Yes.
So let's go to one of your recent events, the World University from Sisu.
Yes. Well, it is strange, but I didn't know that this kind of events existed. And I was contacted by Lukasz Turley from Poland, who was at that time still vice president of Fide, and who is also vice president in FISU. This, I think FISU is Fédération Internationale des Sports Universitaires, something like that. And he contacted me last year because this year this tournament was going to be organized in Antwerp in Belgium, and he asked me as let's say international arbiter to use my experience in organizing tournaments and in being arbiters in major events in ECU, to organize this tournament and to be the chief arbiter. And it was let's say very interesting, because it was a combination in this Mind University World Championships at Mind Sports, a combination with bridge, and bridge has always been one of the games of cards which I wanted to learn how to play. So I was very interested to be the organizer and the chief arbiter of the chess part of this University World Championships. It was quite a good experience because I got good contact with the let's say the bridge group, and it was in Belgium, in Antwerp, with only university students. And it was amazing that people, university students from all over the world came from South Africa, even from South Africa and countries in Africa, Uganda, the Philippines. I was surprised that it was that kind of important tournament, and I didn't know that this tournament existed. So I got very good contact. The tournament was a very good success. The team of Iran won the championship before Poland, and apparently I did a good job, a very good job, because in 2024, it is a tournament which is co-organized every 2 years. In 2024, it will be organized in Uganda, and I have already been asked to be chief arbiter there again. So, very, very, very nice tournament. And very
it's suggested for university students, yes?
yes, it's only for university students.
Let's hope Cyprus takes part at the next edition.
I don't remember. There was no team from Cyprus.
I don't think so, no. I know that Greece took part.
No. Greece was there, yes. Greece, Poland, Germany, France, England.
Yeah, let's
Belgium.
hope. I will inform when it comes closer to the date. Send it to
Well,
me, and I will
you know-
inform the universities to be able to send a team.
You know what? It was unfortunate that I was contacted a little bit too late to be part of the organizing team because the organizing team in University of Antwerp, they had no experience whatsoever in organizing that kind of chess tournament. And like, for example, I told them, why don't you go to Fide to have this homologation for the tournament? Why don't you let the games played on live board so you can stream it on the internet? And they were really surprised that this kind of things existed. So what I wanted to say is that if they had contacted me earlier, I think in the organization of the whole event, they would have made more publicity, and I think more teams would have, from more countries, from more federations, would have participated to the tournament. So for 2024, we are already started with the
It will be in Uganda, you said, yes?
It will be in Uganda, probably, I think, again in September 2024, but I'm not sure.
Okay, that's nice.
Hmm?
That would be like a nice destination.
I have never been in an African country before, so it will be the first time for me to be in an African country. So I'm looking forward to go there again. And very, very, very nice and very motivated people in this organizing team because they saw what the possibilities are to organize such an event and to make it a great event and to let all the world know that this kind of events exist. They were really surprised, and they are very, very motivated to organize it in Uganda in 2024.
Yeah. So we've come to the last part of our stream.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions from anybody?
Is there any question from the audience, Mark, or not?
No, not yet.
Otherwise, I will make a
You
question.
can ask a question, Paolo.
Mr. Geert, last summer we met in Thessaloniki for ECU General Assembly.
Yes.
As you remember, we have a very good and successful discussion.
Yes.
And you told me about your goals and about the tournaments in this summer, as you said previously in our episode. From now on, from the new situation in European Chess Union and the Arbiters Council, what are your goals and what do you think for a suggestion in order to the things for the arbiters to go better, for better competitions, for better conditions? What do you think about for the next 4 years, let's say? Okay.
Whoa, whoa. I don't know if you can imagine what I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to say that it's a difficult question, but it is a question uh, which I cannot answer in 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Okay, maybe for a future episode. Okay.
First of all, yes. Let's say
A few words, let's say. Okay.
I have no problems whatsoever to be contacted again for a future episodes and to talk only about ECU Arbiters Council and our goals that we have.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
we
it just
will make
started.
we can organize that in a future episode, a specific episode only
Yeah.
for those things about
Yeah,
ECU Arbiters Council. Yes,
yeah.
very good idea.
Yeah, I have because there is so much to say about what our goals will be in the next 4 years. It is impossible to mention everything in a few minutes. So
Okay.
it is better. It is better to organize a next
Yes,
episode.
a specific
Yeah, let's maybe
episode
do
only
next
for
year.
this question. Yes, okay.
Mm.
How was your trip here in the General Assembly in Porto Palace Hotel in Thessaloniki? How was your time here?
One of the most important things that I remember is that it was very hot.
Yes,
This is always
that
hot.
period of time, yes, is the
It was very hot, and let's say it was a very good General Assembly, and it was a very nice hotel. The food was good, the accommodation was good, the room was good, and the General Assembly was good because this kind of General Assemblies are interesting because you meet a lot of people, you can talk to a lot of people, and also this specific General Assembly was interesting because it was, let's say, 1.5 weeks before the General Assembly of Fide in Chennai, where the new Fide president was going to be elected. So for me, it was very good. I had a very good time. But what was also very good was the air conditioning in the hotel because, like I said, it was very hot outside.
It was not as cold as Chennai, yes?
No. The air conditioning in the playing venue in Chennai was, let's say, too good.
Yes, it was too cold. Even in the room at the hotel, it was hard getting it above 19 degrees.
Okay.
One last question, and then we'll wrap up the episode. Since you were like in the medical, your profession is in the medical, what do you think about chess players being required to undergo medical examinations to be able to play chess?
I think it's not. I think it's not a question of examination. If you mean concerning cheating?
No. For example, here in Cyprus specifically, for a chess player to play chess now, we are required to undergo a cardiography.
Oh my God!
Yes,
Really?
we are supposed
Yes.
to do a cardiography. We have to do blood analysis work, and if you're over 35, you also have to have a chest X-ray.
Okay. Really?
Yes. We managed to cancel the stress test of our way up for chess players. Otherwise, we had to do a stress test as well.
And why? For what reason?
Because this is our new, this is not from the federation, this is from the sports society from Cyprus, yeah.
So you need, if you want to participate as a chess player in a tournament on Cyprus,
Yes.
also for foreign players?
No, because foreign players don't live here, yes, so you just come here for holiday.
But if suppose I want to attend to participate in a tournament in Cyprus.
If you're a foreign player, this does not exist because foreign players cannot be required to do something like this. But for Cyprus, for players living in Cyprus, yes.
So you need let's say a full medical check.
Yeah, it's blood analysis, blood group, and cardiography. So they check your heart rate.
That's right, yes.
Yes, I think Greece used to have this. Yes.
No, it was stopped for the last 2 years.
Yes, it used to
It
be
was
in Greece as
exist
well.
2 years ago.
Yes. It's a bit extreme, or
But I think it's
something-
postponed for some years. Yes.
For me, it's a bit extreme because I really don't see why it is necessary to do so. No. It is for me. What is necessary is that that the organizer of the tournament. If one of the chess players, if one of the participants of the tournament has some kind of medical issue, some kind of medical history, it would be, let's say, important for the organizer if he knows this in advance, before the start of the tournament. Let's say the easiest example is that it is interesting for an organizer to know if let's say one of the participants is diabetic.
or
Just
epileptic.
Yes, that's what happened in Chennai. One of the players, and I don't remember in which round, and I don't remember the name of the player. I think he was from Estonia, a grandmaster. In one of the rounds, he got a very, very severe seizure, epileptic seizure, very, very severe. I have seen in my career many epileptic seizures in my career, but not very rare that it is that severe as this player had. And people, I was one of the first going to the player to help him, and a lot of people stood around the player and they didn't know what to do. Even some players told me, or told that we should do this and we should do that and we should do, and it was totally wrong what they proposed to do. Of course, I knew what to do, and I helped the chess player, and he survived. But let's say it was a complete surprise that this player did this kind of seizure, because it was not known before. So is it possible to have a medical history of each chess player in a tournament? No, but this kind of things might be interesting for organizers to know when one of the participants is an epileptic patient or diabetic or has let's say heart problems, stuff like that.
So it's important. So you think it's important for organizers to be medically prepared?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
I think it's required by law, if I'm not mistaken, anyway.
I think that in Fide regulations and ECU regulations, it is mentioned that a medical team has to be available. And I was in several tournaments as an arbiter and even chief arbiter, deputy chief arbiter, and I was also appointed as the medical specialist. So I had several positions in this tournament. So that's an advantage for the organizer if they ask me.
We should have you here sometimes, like for our tournaments, to help with the cardiac issues.
Maybe. No, but after this happened in Chennai, the medical team of the Olympiad was in a hotel next to the playing venue at let's say 5-6 minutes walk. But if you have a very, very, very serious issue concerning medical problems, and you have to get in contact with the medical team who needs to walk 5-6 minutes to go to the playing venue and help the patient, at that time it's too late. So I thought, after that happened in Chennai, I talked to the president of ECU, to the president of Fide, to Mr. Dvorkovic, and I told them, why not consider that one of the arbiters who is always in the playing venue immediately can intervene, has some kind of let's say follow some kind of course to be possible to,
like first aid, yes?
Yes, like doing like knowing what to do in the first seconds after something serious, severe happens to one of the players. But because if you have to wait until a specialized medical team arrives, it can be too late.
Yes.
And that's what I told to Arkady. It's something to consider in this medical commission in Fide, to consider the opportunity, the possibility, the necessity of having one or two arbiters in the venue who knows what to do in urgent situations.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has to be mandatory for World Champions competitions, I think.
Yes, I think
Have medical support or doctors into the venue. Yes.
Not available in one part of the building or next to the building, but in the venue that they can.
Yes, a specific room, let's say, for.
Yeah. So that they can intervene when necessary in, let's say, the first minute. And
that's, I think, the most important. It's the first few minutes. If you don't help there, it's maybe too late.
That's my experience. I had hundreds, maybe thousands of situations in my career where it was necessary to do CPR, to help people, and the success that you have in this kind of action and the success for the patient at that moment, at that time, depends on how fast you can be there to intervene. if you lose 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, if you lose 2 minutes, it has a very negative influence on the possibility for the patient, for the person to recover after his heart attack or cardiac arrest or whatever. So the faster you can intervene, the better for the success you have or you can have afterwards for your patient.
So we've passed the 1 hour, we've passed our time.
Yes.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Geert gave us a very good idea
Yes,
to
about
organize a future episode and to talk specifically about ECU Arbiters Council and the goals and the competitions on this.
Thank you everyone for watching.
Thanks for watching and for the support. We're glad to see you, Mr. Geert. Thanks for the interview.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Yes, that's right. We hope to see you again, not only in a future episode, but also in a competition.
Yes. My next competition is the European competition is in Antalya, 5th November until 15th of November.
Yes, it's also in the calendar, yes.
Yeah. Okay.